it's a very interesting question because, in a sense, if you go with that broad definition of capitalism, does it serve the needs of humanity? Well, the fact that we've got about 7.2 billion people on the planet, if you look at Branko's work on global inequality, while the Midwest and the north of England have been slashed, Asia has grown more than it's grown in 100 years, et cetera, et cetera. There's lots of stuff there that seems to be working. But again, it's working against limits and it basically is unsustainable and it can't go on that way. So does it serve those needs? I think on a short-term basis, the efficient allocation of goods and services through a price mechanism using some form of money that is reasonably well accepted, if not guaranteed, is a pretty reasonable way of organizing stuff. Is it the zenith of human civilization? Is it sort of like, as Hayek would have it, that basically there's a line beginning with Tacitus running through the Middle Ages and ending with the British Empire and the rise of sterling before it all goes wrong with socialism? I don't think that's really a sustainable claim. Alongside these markets, there are always states, and states come in lots of different flavors. So Chinese communism, which is a phrase that we thought we'd forgotten until Xi reminded us, no, we are actually communists. We're quite serious about this. That's one. Russian petro-crypto capitalism is another one. American, we don't really give a damn about anybody else and really care about inequality, and we might not even care about climate change, is another one. And there are loads of different formations out there. They're the things that matter most impacting people's lives, not the fact that all of those countries use markets. So I think we need to dial back the sort of like center of civilization is the rise of market society and think about the sort of real states and social formations and social movements, etc., that is the world that we live in, that isn't the economic, right? Because that's what people react to. That's where they live. That's what's important. I used to say to my students years ago, if you think about it, there used to be the show on CNN, probably still there, called Headline News. And at 10 minutes of the hour, the start of the hour, and then for 10 minutes, you get the news. And the news is about stuff. It's about people, right? People and politics and sports games and whatever, right? And then 10 minutes after a commercial break comes back and it's the economy, right? As if it was an entirely separate sphere of the world, right? So as if you get up in the morning, it's like, well, until 1 o'clock, I'm going to be dealing with the polity and family. From 2 on, we can do the economy, right? And that kind of weird sort of bifurcation that economics also encourages us to make, to think about the world in that way, I think that's got to go. I think that's really what's got to go for it to become sustainable.